Dating advice I wish I could tell my 30-year-old self. You should be focusing on your career, not helping your partner do his resume. He can do it himself. Emotional maturity should be very high in your qualities list for a potential partner. Stop trying to convince yourself you're okay with a situationship. If you want a relationship, look for somebody else who wants a relationship as well. If you're spending more time worrying about what makes them happy versus what makes you happy, you need to reevaluate. Just because someone thinks they have a reason to treat you poorly doesn't mean you need to accept it. Don't change your value system to accommodate someone else, ever.
Welcome to The Wall. In this video, we'll see how women in their 30s struggle to find a man and how one woman calls on Western women to stop being superficial with men. We want you to smash that like button and subscribe to the channel. Our goal is to reach 150,000 subscribers before March, and with your support, we'll make it happen. Don't forget to leave us your comments and turn on notifications so you don't miss any videos. Now, let's get started.
So I went out on another first date this weekend with this guy, and we decided to meet up and have a drink. So everything was going well. We were just chilling, sitting at the bar, good conversation. He's like, hey, listen, like I have to tell you something. It's been a problem in past relationships. I just want to put it out there, like right off the bat. I'm like, cool, go ahead. So he proceeds to tell me that he's into pegging. I don't know what pegging is, but I was like, oh, okay, cool. That's fine, whatever. So finish the drink. I decided to go to the restroom because I really wanted to look like what pegging was, So I go and look it up. No fucking way am I doing that. No fucking way. No.
Damn! In short, that man likes to have his oil checked. I'm not going to blame her, but a traditional man wouldn't show up to a first date with this. To each their own, but this is not something normal in a man with masculine polarity. Pretty strange if you ask me, brothers. What do you guys think?
The best piece of advice that the West does not teach to women. Here in the West, we've literally created our own rules that do not help us in the long term. But in order to have a great relationship with a man and keep the healthy polarity, stop dating the ones that you have so many feelings for or you're crazy attracted to. You have to date and marry the one that is more attracted to you than you are to him. The one that has to win you over and conquering your challenges. See, but you have to be open-hearted to this. Because here in the West, we are very superficial. And this way of relationships for us women is actually ingrained into us. We are actually programmed out of this way of dating when you grow up in American culture. And in my sister's culture, the women have to cover up because the men are so thirsty for them. The women never have to chase the man's approval. Eve never had to convince Adam to marry her. She just stood there. And if you want to be feminine and smart, you have to get out of the superficial mind frame. Oh, I got to post him on social media. The more that you date the men who are pursuing you consistently, your attraction will grow.
Social media and simps have completely distorted women's perception of reality. In the past, an average woman would marry a man from her own social circle. Now, with makeup, filters, and constant validation, a girl who is actually a 5 thinks she's a 10. Average men flood their social media with compliments, making them believe they have endless options. The reality is that 80% of men are average. With some exercise and good dressing, they can improve, but they're still average. If a woman only focuses on superficial things, as is promoted in the West, she'll end up alone, with a cat crashing into the wall, because the wall doesn't forgive.
Our attraction grows through him opening us up and listening to our emotions, our views on things, the more that he does and provides for us. This is the feminine psychological truth. And unless he is your husband, do not go boasting about your partner on social media. And yes, I do understand that it's a world apart from what you've been conditioned to. And I understand how you feel. I mean, there are men that I'm attracted to physically, but who cares? I mean, honestly, who cares? Does he work hard? When we start making relationships about how many likes we can get on social media, that's where we go wrong. And I get it. If you keep watching the television and movies, your perception is very skewed. I was actually watching a bit last night, which I never do. And I was just like appalled, like, wow, it's just such a different perception when you've been studying truths for so long. And let me tell you, when my family finds out that I am in a relationship, I'll be married. Seriously, when I'm married, that's when they'll know, oh, he's a strong one. We are so beyond powerful, and we lose sight of that the more that we hustle. We literally get to choose whether a man carries on his legacy or not. And chances are that he may ask you if you're attracted to him, but stay tuned on how to answer that.
In short, choose the one who truly makes an effort to have you in their life. This applies to both men and women. It's better to be with a woman who gives you peace, even if she's not a supermodel, but who respects you and helps you move forward. What's the point of being with a woman who thinks she's a goddess? One who threatens you by saying she'll have another guy the next day, fills her social media with simps, and spends her time posing on Instagram to feed her ego. Women in happy marriages chose their man for how he treats them, not just for his looks. I'm not saying an attractive or wealthy man can't be a good husband, but the competition for him is huge. Those who chase only the top 20% of men end up alone.
The media loves to make it seem like if you're single in your 30s, you're going to just die this cat lady. But let me tell you something. Dating in your 30s is the SHIT, baby. You know what you want. You know how you want it to be. You know what you want the man to look like, sound like, dress like, act like all the likes. You get it. You've been through it. You can see the red flags coming. You know what it is at this point. And at the end of the day, in your 30s, you're wiser. Your frontal lobe has developed fully. You're just mentally, physically, energetically, spiritually, so much more in tune with who you really are. It's just a different world. It's a different world. So if you are lucky enough to be single in your 30s, you can find a partner for life because you have done the work. And if you're in your 20s, if you're in your teens, and you feel like there's some kind of biological clock, the clock is ticking and ticking and talking, maybe work on yourself. Work on yourself. Do the inner work. Get therapy. Take care of yourself. Love yourself. Fall in love with yourself before you find someone out of desperation or out of whatever the hell.
The one who is fortunately single in her 30s. Brothers, by that age, a woman is already at risk of missing the train. Her beauty has faded. She has less time to meet new people. And if she wants kids, it only gets harder. At this stage, she should prioritize starting a family and look for an average man to build something stable with. Life has a window of opportunity. Between 25 and 40 is the best time to make money and do something meaningful. If she wastes it finding herself, the train will pass her by. Otherwise, she'll end up like the woman in the next video. 30 years old, feeling lost and without purpose in life.
Hi, my name is Emily. I'm 30 years old, and I have no home and no jobs. Yes, you did hear that correctly. 4 months ago, I decided to quit my corporate job of 8 years and leave all of my financial security and security blanket that I had behind to try and go out and find something more meaningful for me to do. And what I realized is actually that there is a lot of girls and women out there that are kind of feeling the same way. And the reason I know this to be true is because me and one of my best friends decided to start a virtual online community for women. So what I will say is, I don't know. I don't know the answer. If you are feeling like this, I haven't had it all figured out. I'm very much so in the process. I don't have another job yet. I don't have the answers. I don't know where I'm moving. But I do know having community has made it that much better.
You know what's ironic? If a man were in this situation, everyone would call him a loser. But since it's a woman, They sell the idea that she's on a journey to find herself. She's 30 years old, homeless, jobless, and instead of surrounding herself with people who add value to her life, she seeks out other equally lost women to form the club of failures. The worst part? The one leading the community doesn't even know where she's going. If the head has no direction, how do you think the rest will end up? My father always told me, be clear about what truly matters. For me, that's family. This woman could be married, with a supportive husband, building a home, maybe expecting her first child. But no, her priority is to keep searching for meaning instead of finding a husband. Brothers, the wall doesn't forgive. We've reached the end of the video, but before we go, the questions are for you. Do you think a woman in her 30s is really in her best stage? Or has she already missed the train to start a family? Is it better to marry an average man and build together, or keep waiting for the ideal man, who may never come? If you enjoyed the video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell. Your support means the world to us and motivates us to create more content. Stay tuned for the next exciting video from the wall.